Hey ho people, it's Stylosa and Kirioth, and this is like a little bit of a quick video because I don't know what profession to play on Guild Wars 2. Now, looking at the website, I think we've got about 3 days until it comes out. Yeah, 3 days and 13 hours as of right now. Obviously, it'll be a bit different when you watch the video. As for the pre-purchase play, like the pre-purchase access playtime, whatever, early access start. That's what I'm trying to say. That goes live. I need to work out what profession I'm going to play.
Well, I'm going straight in for Thief, son, because it looks mad. It just looks insane. I never tried the Thief during the beta. It was one of those things.
I did though, yeah.
I looked at it after the fact and was then like disappointed that I never tried it. But I'm kind of glad that I didn't now, because it means when the game actually releases, I can just dive right in with the mobility and everything, and the dual pistols. Good lord, I could be a dual pistol gangster thief. It's going to be quality.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, that's what. When I played the Thief, it really felt like a thief with all the even with the daggers jumping around like a crazy, like giving it all this and like shadow stepping behind people. Yeah, I know you can do things like that in even on a World of Warcraft road, but it was like it really felt like a thief, like vaulting over people and stabbing them in the back. But the pistols, they were quite good because you had loads of mobility. Like you could like really keep range on people.
Yeah,
it's really weird. Like trying to get this thing out of your head of, I am a thief, so therefore I am a melee close range damage dealer. When in actual fact you could be ranged. It's like what? Like it's whoa! It does things to my mind. So.
That's what confused me about when I had I think it was a warrior that I started out with, and I was able to equip a gun. And suddenly I was going toe to toe with engineers, and I was like, "Hang on a minute, what's going on here? I've got full."
They're also quite good with the bow as well.
Yeah. It was just mad. It's a bit crazy, but I think that's probably what's causing your confusion here with the professions, because they can all do something crazy like that, can't they?
Well, you see, straight away, when I first got onto the beta when it started, I was like, okay, I'm going to play the class that is a tank, which is obviously like a stupid idea because it's not really a tank in Guild Wars 2. This sort of is, but it's not in the sense of, tank healer and DPS like the traditional Holy Trinity thing. Hang on, Holy Trinity, there we go, that looks good on the webcam. Thing, so I'm like, immediately I gravitated towards a Guardian. I'm like, okay, I'm going to play a Guardian because a Guardian looks like it's the character that offers protection and defense, and it is. Oh, it most definitely is, but when I played with the class I think I got to level 30 something, 31 maybe. I wasn't really feeling it, to be honest. I was like, I felt like I was just sort of. The only reason I'd be in a group was to literally put the protective dome over them, reflect projectiles or whatever, whichever ability I had active at the time, and I sort of felt like, you know what, this is just going to end up being the class where people are just. I mean, but this might be totally wrong, guys. But this was the impressions I was getting. I just felt like this would be the sort of class people would bring along just for the, just for the buff, just for the ability. And I was like, I don't know.
That's the thing. I mean, some people as well might kind of enjoy that sort of thing, where like they know they're going to be useful and they know they want to be able to.
I might still play it though.
But that's the thing, son. Do you want to go all out damage, or do you want utility, or because it seems like they all do a bit of all of it.
Yeah, it still does fairly decent damage. I mean, I suppose the only if you look at it this way, the game is sort of based around you keeping yourself alive to a point. You could argue that you'd be better off playing a more traditional damage dealing class like an elementalist or even a thief or somebody, because they're designed around damage.
Yeah.
And if you can do your little combat rolls and whatever good enough, then really do you need that added defense that you would get from the other classes and things like that? Obviously you will in group scenarios, but like as far as solo play goes, I don't know. But I mean, just looking at the classes, the professions, even we've got engineer, we've got necromancer, we've got thief, we've got elementalist, warrior, rogue. What have I missed here? Ranger, mesmer, and guardian. Now, I've always played warriors, always played warriors, but I didn't really feel the warrior in Guild Wars 2.
I have to admit, I got bored of my warrior quite quickly. I switched out to a Mesmer partway through the beta, which meant I missed a lot of the later content, unfortunately. But it didn't feel. It's hard to describe. It was like it felt like a warrior, but compared to all the other classes, it feeling like a warrior actually made it feel a little bit dull, I guess.
Yeah.
I've seen people do mad stuff, and the only crazy thing I could do was equip a hammer and knock people to the floor. And when you compare that to when I saw...
Yeah, but the hammers are solid, though.
They are, but then when you see a Mesmer, like, summon different versions of themselves and suddenly charge in and explode, and then they're not there, they're over there, it's like, oh great, I can knock people around the face with a hammer. It's just not got the same... I don't know, it didn't have the same impact for me the Warrior did.
I think Mesmer's got to win the award for craziest class, hands down.
Yeah, definitely.
That is crazy. Some crazy stuff going on there. But, I mean, Necromancer... That is quite a good class as well, and like I really enjoyed Thief and Engineer. I played quite a bit Engineer as an Azura. Now I don't really like stupid small, like miniature races. Not really a fan of that. Although I'll be honest, I am quite tempted with these little chaps, and specifically making an Engineer because I had quite a. It was quite enjoyable. Obviously, guns. Everybody loves guns, but it was like guns, grenades, bombs. It was, I don't know. It was quite interesting. That was.
The Engineer to me seems kind of.
Oh, do you remember the Engineer in Warhammer Online?
Yes. Yeah. Well,
that was like a revolutionary class, wasn't it?
I mean, I played an Engineer the entire time I played. I think I swapped out the second half of when I played that to the crazy Inquisitor type person. Warrior Priest, was it? I think it was Warrior Priest.
But, yeah.
I mean, that was mental. It was just ridiculous. It was overpowered, to be honest. But the Engineer was it was unbelievable playing that. And from what I've seen of the Engineer in Guild Wars 2, it looks to be kind of similar, if not better. There seems to be, it looks to be just quite a good class. I mean, for me, I'm going for Thief, but if I were to pick a second, it would be between Mesmer and Engineer, because in terms of craziness and interest goes, they, to me, seem to be kind of equal.
So I think, looking at it, it's probably going to come down to Guardian or Engineer for me. I'm not sure. I think what I'll do is, I'll just basically make a snap decision. I'll be like, yeah, I'm just going to go for this. And when I play MMOs, I tend to stick to the character as well. I'll play the character and that'll be it. It'll be like, okay, this is my character and that's what I'm going to play. I'm going to become good at this class. I'm not going to keep jumping around all the classes, like, because I don't know. I mean, okay, I might have an alt and things like that, but I'm not. It's never really something. I don't know. Maybe that just comes down to the type of player I am.
I think you tend to stick to one thing and just become really good at it. Whereas I mean, well, when we played Warcraft, I mean, generally speaking, I always healed, but I had like 3 different healers. So it wasn't so much the class as the role that I liked, but. With Guild Wars 2, it's kind of different because it's like every class can in some way do a bit of every role. I'm not saying a thief would be sensible to try and tank something because obviously that wouldn't go well, but it's like they've all got that element of...
It might do. It might do, I don't know. I don't know. I think the thing is, guys, like we'd like to know what professions you lot are going to play and why. Maybe you can give us some insight on classes which you think would fit us. As I say, I've got the most experience with the Guardian. Heavy armour always attracts me, like the large characters with heavy armour and they look imposing. I think it probably comes down to just wanting to be like the group leader. Like I'm almost as if I'm the first one in that sort of attitude. But you don't really get that with Guild Wars 2. Like it's because it's not like the traditional tanks. It's not like you turn and you taunt and then a DPS attacks and then the healer is at the back. It's like it's all crazy. So I don't know. It's either Guardian or Engineer probably for me.
Either way, it's going to be ridiculous. I still can't get over the fact that all the things I kind of learned from MMOs, it's just like, with Guild Wars 2, it just went out the window. It's just, I have got heavy armour, oh god, I'm dead because I didn't dodge. And the guy with no armour is alive because he did. What?
There's nothing wrong with rewarding skill.
Oh, well, yeah.
So look, chaps, you tell us, and ladies, you tell us what classes you're going to play. We'd like to know. And as I said, maybe you can give us some advice. And no doubt we'll... before we go, actually, we are playing on Fisher of Woe, which is probably the best name I've ever heard of any game server ever. It's an EU server, so that'll be our primary server. So if you want to play with us, please join Fisher of Woe. We'll no doubt get a Unit Lost Guild on the go as well. So any last words, Mr. Kirioth?
See you in there. Love it.
Good lord. Make sure you click links in the description, yeah! And follow us. Oh, no, not follow us. What is it? Subscribe to us, good lord. I'm getting all mixed up. Follow me on @Unit Lost Gaming on Twitter. Follow Kirioth at Kirioth. Subscribe to the channel and click the links in the description. And we'll catch you next time. Toodaloo. Hey.